Hello everyone, welcome to Freedom Fighter 2127. Choo choo! Russia reviving elusive nuke trains with 30-year YARS ICBM. Sorry I read that wrong. Russia finalized the project of a new combat railway missile complex, BZH-RK, that will multiply its nuclear potential and counter the U.S. conventional prompt global strike, RG.RU reported. This is Sputnik. Sputnik, whatever it's called. The two superpowers, the Soviet Union and the United States of America, chose different structures for their nuclear arsenals. Washington gave preference to ballistic missile submarines as the basis of the U.S. strategic nuclear forces. Moreover, the West managed to cover the global ocean with acoustic stations that track the movement of Soviet subs. Soviet subs tried every evasion trick and sometimes emerged in much unexpected places, but it was still insufficient to keep secrecy. Therefore, launch silos remained the core of the Soviet Union Strategic Missile Forces, SMF. As the time passed, the Pioneer and Topol-M mobile complexes entered service, but they could hardly be called invisible. In 1987, the USSR decided to place its missiles on railways, taking the advantage of its giant and multipath railroad network, in which a train could hide from satellite reconnaissance. Each of the 12 Soviet nuke trains was armed with 3 RT-23 Molodets, I think that's how you pronounce that, 22-24 Scalpel, intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, carrying 10 warheads. The train looks like refrigerator cars from space. Really? Russia completely decommissioned these trains in 2007 in accordance with the START II treaty. The new project, codenamed Barguzin, after a strong Baikal wind, is not subjected to the treaty and surpasses its predecessors in capabilities. Every Barguzin train will be armed with 6 ICBMs, RS-24 YARS, a land equivalent to the submarine-launched Bulava. The new nuke train is similar to a nuclear-capable submarine in its function. The cars are so hard that they can resist an explosion of a nuclear warhead just several hundred meters away. A train can run for a month autonomously and pass up to 1,000 kilometers daily. The missiles are brought into firing position within minutes. Their engagement range is 10,000 kilometers and precision is 100 meters around the target. The warheads can maneuver to penetrate any existing missile defense system. The trains will be protected with the cutting-edge stealth technology, electronic warfare systems, and counterterrorism measures. 5 Barguzin regiments are expected to enter Russia's SMF by 2020. Interesting, isn't it? Heads up to the Midwest. Pretty large storm system moving in. One more thing I want to talk about in this video. Manhunt continues for 2 killers who escaped New York prison. I want to point something out here. Police are going through the cities and towns, what appears to look like going door to door. I'm not there, I can't tell you. If I recall, let's read through this story really quickly here. The plot was more Shawshank Redemption than CSI. 2 hardened inmates using power tools, handmade decoys, and their hands to chisel and crawl their way out of a maximum security prison and a subterranean escape. But the pursuit of the fugitives from Clinton Correctional Facility may be even more old-fashioned, in large part because of the manner in which the 2 criminals emerged onto a cameraless street corner and into a world in which some of the best tracking targets available, cell phones, cars, and credit cards, may not apply. Hold on a minute, those aren't the best systems and we know it. They have how many eyes in the sky that can pretty much track everybody's movements in an entire city, just like they did in Baltimore. They can even do New York, that means Los Angeles as well. That's the FBI's technology. So if they're really trying to track 2 people and all their movements, they could start from where they began and start flying the drones over, and they would eventually catch them very simply. Let me go through this a little bit further here. They're basically untraceable, said a retired New York City detective sergeant and a professor at John Jay College of Criminal Justice. Indeed, in the early hours of the hunt, Law enforcement officials were using roadblocks and bloodhounds to try to find David Sweat and Richard W. Matt, both of whom were serving lengthy prison sentences for murder. On Sunday, hundreds of police and corrections officers were combining the wilderness and rural communities, going house to house in neighborhoods near the prison. I want to stop right there. Because, you know, how often do people escape from maximum security prison? They got out with hand tools onto a cameraless street corner. And they have not deployed a drone to track their movements like they would normally do for, well, they do it every day, everywhere. Seems a little off to me. The police are going house to house, door to door in neighborhoods near the prison. This is the drill. It screams a drill to me. The first time I read the title of this article, or title of one similar, it's a drill. The police are going door to door, hunting people. Sound familiar? What's coming? Interesting tie here. I mean, it's just interesting. That's all it is. Anyways, that's all the news I've got for right now. I want to thank you all for watching. Please check out the websites freedomfighterreports.com and socialexodus.net. God bless and carry on.